Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about I Love Lucy. More specifically about 10 underrated I Love Lucy episodes. Now, I will go into a little bit more detail on what that exactly means, and I'll give you guys and gals the opportunity in the comments below to let me know what are your 10 underrated I Love Lucy episodes. But first, I do want to remind you that I will be giving away a DVD set in this video. I'm going to give you all the directions, all the instructions on how. You just have to make sure to watch the entire video to know how that is. It'll be from the entire season 4 catalog, so you'll see every single episode if you do win the giveaway. So let's get right to the video. Now, by underrated, I am talking about the least commonly known episodes that are really good. When people think about I Love Lucy, most of them, whether they're fans or not, they think about Vitamin Benjamin. They think about job switching when Lucy eats all the chocolates. Those are two episodes, even the Hollywood episodes. Not that they aren't great, they're some of the best ever, but these are really good episodes that maybe get thrown under the rug because of many different reasons, but I want to highlight them and let you know that these are amazing episodes. Now, what I've done, I've gone through every single season, 1 through 6 of the half-an-hour episodes, and I picked one really good underrated episode from each season. That'll bring up the list from 1 through 6, and then I picked 1, 2, 3, 4 more from a couple other seasons in no particular order. So let's begin with number 1, and that episode comes from season 1. It's called The Mustache. I absolutely love this episode. I think it's so hilarious. Some of my favorite sitcom episodes are when they actually pick an item and they actually expand upon that one. And for me, this is the one, The Mustache, where Lucy accidentally glues this, well, it's more than a mustache, but it's like a mustache and a beard. She accidentally glues it to her face. She can't get it off. And it's really hilarious trying to see her covered up in many different ways. And there's even a dancing scene at the end where she plays it in front of a producer and she's all covered up with her face and he wants to see her face, but she has that mustache on, and it's a disaster. If you haven't seen that episode, I'd really recommend it. Number 2 is the saxophone. Now, when you think about Lucy, you may think about the saxophone, but this is one episode that many people may forget about, and that is the premiere of the actual saxophone, where we learn that she is, let's say, not talented at playing the saxophone, but she's trying to get into the act, she's trying to get popular and of course famous, and she tries to play the saxophone for everyone else, and she only knows how to play the song Glowworm. So it's pretty funny to see her do that, see her acting chops. Actually, Lucy did learn a little bit of the saxophone so that she could play it in this episode. It's really funny. The second half has to do with, of course, cheating, and it is really funny to see all those men come outside of her closet. It's a great episode. If you haven't checked it out, if you want some laughs, it's a great one. Season 3, it's one of my favorites from season 3. It's called Home Movies. Now, this is one where you don't usually hear people talk about. It's the only I Love Lucy half-an-hour episode that wasn't shot in front of a live audience, and the reason because of that is because there was a lot of special effects, well, 50 special effects that they had to make and get right for the projection scenes, and I think it's hilarious. One of the strongest episodes in my opinion, both in acting with the girls and even Fred playing the old Wild West in Lucy's apartment and then projecting that film in random order, upside down order. It's one of the greatest to see Ricky's reactions and then the final payoff at the end. If you haven't checked this out, it is truly worth just getting season 3 just to watch this episode. Now, most people will categorize season 4 as the season where the gang went to Hollywood, and in my opinion, those are some of the best episodes. But some of the first ones in this season are kind of often neglected, even the first episode. This one is called The Business Manager. We see an appearance by Charles Lane, one of the great I Love Lucy guest stars. Well, he wasn't really a star per se, but he was one of the guest actors who would regularly play different parts, and he plays Mr. Hickox, and he's managing the Ricardos' money, their finances, and it's really hilarious to see Lucy playing with the money and getting credit and just doing all these weird shenanigans that we always see her doing, and her appearing with all that money, Ricky misinterpreting it as Lucy playing the stock market. Again, one of the best episodes in my opinion of the non-Hollywood season 4 ones. Check it out, it's truly going to make you laugh. Now in season 5, I do have to mention this episode because it is my favorite, and that is the John Wayne episode. However, I'm going to argue that that one is one that people often remember, and so I'm going to talk about the last one, that is going back from Europe. This is also the season where they do go to Europe and they have to fly back to New York. And of course, they bring that cheese. Now, again, when people mention I Love Lucy, they don't really mention this episode, but it is one of the greatest scenes of Lucy rocking that cheese inside the plane and pretending that it's a gigantic baby so she doesn't have to pay the dues on that cheese. Again, it's hilarious. They make this a great scene with Frank Nelson, who's of course a great I Love Lucy actor. He played in many episodes with his yes, and he is amazing in the last and final scene where the cheese is all stuck in all the instruments of Ricky's band. Again, hilarious and one of the best in my opinion. Season 6 is the one we always remember as the one where the Ricardos and the Mertzes moved to Connecticut. And there's great ones like the barbecue episode, the one where Lucy and Superman meet, but many people do forget this episode, and that is Lucy's night in the town. What makes it so great is that they all get prepared and excited to go see a theater play, but they realize that they only have 2 tickets between the 4 of them. So each of them go inside, switching tickets, trying to do things underhandedly. We do see a guest appearance by Joseph Kearns, who was later in Dennis the Menace. He makes a great appearance as the theater manager, and at the end of the episode, it's great. They actually don't get to finish seeing the play because all this bickering, all this chaos happens, and I think it's a genius episode in which nothing gets done. It's kind of a waste of time, but that makes it funny because you're laughing along the way. So go ahead and check this one out. You'll love it. Now, this is actually the episode right before it. It's called Ragtime Band. Now, this image is ingrained in my mind of Fred Mertz trying to play the fiddle and all of this confetti coming out. It's hilarious. And then Ethel not being able to play the piano in this episode versus being able to play the piano in previous seasons. It's just great. Little Ricky's the only one who's able to play, of course. And then we have Lucy with the saxophone horribly playing. So it's trying to say who's the best out of the worst. Again, one of the funniest. And then at the end, Ricky gives them all these quirky Cuban style instruments, and it makes for a great episode. Now let's jump back to season 1 because there are a lot of nugget episodes here, golden nuggets, which many people do forget. This one is called The Audition, one of my favorites. I have to say that this is the staple of I Love Lucy. Most people don't remember it though because of course it has to do with Lucy trying out. She is the professor. She is this kind of interesting character, clownish character who comes into the play. She has this comedic act with Ricky, which was actually a previous vaudeville act that they tried out together before starting on I Love Lucy. One of the best. They actually have that outfit. It's actually blue in the Lucy Desi Museum in Jamestown, New York, which I did check out, and I think if you haven't seen this episode, you're doing yourself a disfavor if you love Lucy because it is one of the best. Staying with season 2, Lucy's Schedule is an amazing episode with guest star Gil Gordon, who was supposed to be one of the original actors considered to be Fred Mertz. So that's really cool that he was able to be shown. His talents were in this episode as Ricky's boss. Ricky's trying to show off that he can keep his house and of course his life on a schedule, and Lucy plays her hand by trying to make Ricky's life chaotic. It's a hilarious episode with many different levels and phases of Lucy coming back and messing with the men, making sure that they get a horrible dinner experience, trying to let Ricky cancel this schedule thing that he has going on. If you haven't seen this, Lucy and Ethel and of course Mrs. Littlefield going crazy with throwing the biscuits, giving really horrible soup. It is one of the best episodes in season 1. And finally, guys and gals, the last underrated episode of I Love Lucy, my choice is Lucy's Showbiz Swan Song. Now, this one was great because it was from season 2. And you have to give Lucy credit here. She was actually pregnant, very pregnant, almost ready to give birth to little Ricky. And she is in this entire episode with her, of course, gang. And she's the one who's trying to get into the act by getting into a barbershop quartet. Now, the entire episode is funny from beginning to end. Lucy singing some sour notes, as well as singing off-key, but worming her way into the barbershop quartet, remember, as she's pregnant, both in the story and in real life. And you can't help but laugh out loud at how the shaving cream was put in her mouth and she keeps trying to sing, but then she's making these sour faces with the shaving cream in her mouth. It is, in my opinion, the best, or one of the best, in season 2. These are episodes that people usually don't forget. I would love to know your list down below, guys and gals, but let me tell you how to win the season 4 I Love Lucy DVD with all of the episodes from season 4. First, you must be subscribed to the channel, which is absolutely free. So if you have not done that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and like this video. I will be checking that before I choose the winner, of course. Then leave a comment down below, and all you have to say in the comment is top 10. So as long as top 10, those words are in the comment, that will fulfill that requirement. And finally, I have a link in the description of this video. It's a top link, and I do need your contact information as well as your mailing address so I know how to send it to you and contact you to let you know that you've won the giveaway. Good luck to every single one. I would love and looking forward to looking at your top 10 list. We'll see you next time, and don't forget, guys and gals, be hopeful. Thank you to my diamond tier patrons, Andrew B, Ricky, and David D. And thank you to every single one of my Patreons where I have exclusive content. Be sure to look in the description below for merchandise, Patreon exclusive content, as well as playlists where you can find other TV shows and sitcoms that I think you'll enjoy. We'll see you all next time.